Oops, guess gravity hates poor people too. Savannah's laugh cuts through the lunchroom just as Nyla's tray crashes to the floor. Chicken, mashed potatoes, everything splattered across her shoes. A pause, then gasps. A fork rolls to Savannah's feet, but she doesn't stop smirking. Nyla stands frozen, gripping the edge of the table like it's the only thing keeping her upright. Seriously? Are you even allowed in here? Or do you just sneak in with the cleaning crew? Savannah says louder now, soaking in the attention. Maybe next time, bring your own food. Oh wait, that would require money. Someone in the back whispers. Damn. But no one moves. Savannah folds her arms, still staring down at Nyla. Look, I'm just saying what everyone's thinking. Some people get here on merit, others, charity cases. Nyla's jaw tightens, but she doesn't speak. Her face burns, her hands won't stop shaking. And then the worst part, Savannah leans in close, whispers, just loud enough for everyone to hear. You'll never belong here, no matter how many pity scholarships they hand out. Nyla blinks fast, forcing the tears to stay in. This isn't the first time, but it's never been this loud, this public. A dozen phones rise into the air like reflexes. Some students record, others pretend not to notice. A group by the vending machine snickers. One girl whispers, "This is gonna blow up." But no one says anything. Mr. Carlson, seated at the far end, looks up from his tablet. His eyes flicker to the scene, then back down. He doesn't move. Savannah brushes invisible lint off her blazer, flashing a smug smile. Hope someone gets my good side. Nyla stares at the phones pointed at her, like weapons disguised as lenses. Not one person puts theirs away. Not one person speaks up. She locks eyes with her lab partner, Tasha, who quickly looks down at her sandwich like it might save her from being next. The silence in the room screams louder than Savannah ever could. And Nyla? She stands there, alone, ashamed, and completely surrounded. While we're at it, Savannah calls out, flicking her blonde hair back. Can someone check if her scholarship came with a 5-finger discount? Another ripple of laughter. Someone snorts. She's been stealing our time in class too, talking like she knows everything. It's giving affirmative action mascot. Nyla's fists clench at her sides. I bet your little essay about growing up in the struggle was just too precious for admissions to resist. Savannah practically coos the last part. How inspiring? The word inspiring feels like venom, not admiration, mockery. Nyla opens her mouth, then closes it. A part of her wants to scream, throw something, anything to break the weight in her chest. Instead, she does the one thing she still has control over. She straightens her spine and walks away. She doesn't say a word. Not when someone mutters, "Yikes." Not when her footsteps echo against the cafeteria tiles. Not even when someone tries to quietly slide a napkin her way. As if that could wipe away the humiliation. Nyla walks, eyes forward, back rigid. Inside she's unraveling, but outside, she's armor. Every step feels like glass underfoot, but she keeps walking. Because turning around would mean letting them see the crack, letting Savannah win. And Nyla's done giving anyone that satisfaction. Nyla leans against the cold hallway wall, heart pounding in her ears. It wasn't just today. There was a comment in math class, the sideways glance in history, the way teachers called on her last, the whispers, the jokes, always brushed off as not that deep. But today was different. Today it was public. Today it was filmed. And maybe that's what changes everything. Because as Nyla finally wipes a tear from her cheek, something shifts behind her eyes. Not just pain. Resolve. She pulls out her phone, opens her messages, and types 4 words to her mom. It happened. Again. Bad. I don't know why you keep acting like you're one of them. Her voice sneers from the back of the classroom. Nyla feels the words hit her like a punch in the gut, but she doesn't turn around. She never does. She knows she's different, in ways that no one here seems to get. She's brilliant, top of her class, one of the few students who's actually excited about advanced calculus and philosophy. But her accomplishments feel like they exist in two separate worlds: the world of her achievements and the world of her classmates' expectations. They think she's here because of a handout. That's what they never see: the weight of every award, every scholarship, every grade she's earned. They don't see the endless hours spent proving she belonged, fighting to be recognized for her mind, not her skin. She lets the words roll off her back. She's used to them, but they still cut. Nyla's mom has always been her strength. A single mother who worked two jobs, always exhausted, always moving forward. Nyla remembers the late nights, her mom's tired smile after a full shift, the sacrifices that shaped her world. You don't get handed anything, Nyla. You earn it. Those words stuck with her. They were all she had in a world that tried to diminish her. Every decision, every step she took, was because of her mother's grit, her vision for something better. She wasn't here by accident. She was here because she fought for it. The halls of Silverbrook Academy are perfect. Gleaming floors, polished walls, designer uniforms. The outside world might see this place as the epitome of privilege and opportunity. But Nyla sees something different. Cold, sterile spaces where everyone stares, but no one really sees her. She's always on the edge, standing apart. Whether it's in the classroom or at lunch, there's this invisible line between her and everyone else. They don't get it. They don't get her. But she doesn't mind the isolation. She's been here before. It's just another layer of armor she's learned to wear. Every day, Nyla feels the eyes on her. It's never just one person. Always a group, a shift in energy when she enters the room. The low murmur of judgment, a glance too quick to catch. But there. You're so smart for a student says, trailing off when they realize they've said too much. The whispers come between classes, in hallways, over lunch. She probably doesn't even belong here. Must be nice to have a scholarship. It's exhausting. The microaggressions. The assumption that she's some diversity token. The quiet cuts that no one acknowledges. But she feels them all the same. Savannah sweeps into the room like she owns it. She doesn't have to say a word. Her presence speaks louder than anyone else's. With her perfectly styled hair, designer clothes, and the smug smile that only privilege can buy, she's the untouchable queen bee. Nyla notices the way everyone parts for her, the way their eyes light up with admiration. But Nyla's never impressed. She sees it for what it is: the entitlement, the assumed superiority. To Savannah, this school is her kingdom. And Nyla? She's just another reminder of how out of place she feels. It's just another passing moment, another snide remark, but it cuts deeper each time. Savannah leans over, her voice dripping with that compliment. Nyla's heard one too many times. You talk so well, for someone like you. It's not new, but today it stings. Nyla forces a smile, the kind she's mastered, the one that hides the hurt. Thanks, she says, voice steady, but the weight of those words sitting heavy on her chest. The casual racism wrapped in politeness feels like a slap, but no one else sees it. They never do. In the classroom, it's no different. The group project is supposed to be a chance to showcase everyone's ideas. But as usual, Nyla's voice is drowned out by the white noise of privilege. Savannah speaks, and everyone listens. Her ideas, half-baked, uninspired, are praised, but Nyla's. They're met with silence. When she offers a suggestion, the teacher doesn't even acknowledge it, instead nodding along to Savannah's repeated points. Nyla bites her lip, a familiar feeling settling in her gut. The sense that no matter how hard she tries, she will never be seen for her intelligence. Just her skin. Nyla aces the latest test. It's one of those rare moments when she can't help but feel proud. but it's quickly overshadowed by something worse. Did you have help with this? The teacher's words come out casually, as though it's a legitimate question. Savannah, sitting in the front row, gives Nyla a smile that's anything but kind. She doesn't even need to say anything. Her look is enough. Are you questioning my work? Nyla wants to ask, but she stays silent, the frustration rising. They never assume she earned it, not on her own, never because of her own brilliance. It's just a joke, but it doesn't feel that way. Savannah leans back in her seat, her voice cutting through the quiet classroom. I bet Neela's just here because of some charity scholarship, right? Don't you think they should get rid of all the diversity placements? The room bursts into laughter, laughter that digs into Nyla's soul. She's heard it before, but today it feels different. The sting of humiliation is sharp, raw. Her heart races and her stomach twists. She can't breathe. Without another word, Nyla stands up. She can't take it anymore. She walks out, the door closing behind her with a finality that echoes in her mind. The cafeteria falls into a stunned silence as Savannah's voice rings out, sharp and accusing. Check her bag, she took it. Her finger jabs toward Nyla, the smug look on her face unmistakable. The room goes still. Nyla's heart thunders in her chest. Every eye is on her. She's frozen, caught in the weight of a lie so blatant it might as well be a slap in the face. But Savannah doesn't care. The bracelet, her bracelet, was never Nyla's possession. But the accusation hangs thick in the air, and the murmurs that follow make it clear. To them, Nyla is already guilty. They don't need proof. They've made up their minds. Get the security, Savannah demands, her tone dripping with fake concern. The crowd stirs, some whispering, others pulling out their phones. Nyla's stomach twists. This is it, the moment everything changes. Nyla stands there, her breath shallow, as two security guards approach. One of them is already eyeing her suspiciously, like she's the criminal they've been waiting for. The room's tension is palpable, but it's the laughter that cuts deepest. Snickers here, snide comments there. Open your bag, Nyla, one guard says, his voice flat, disinterested. Nyla feels the heat of everyone's eyes on her as she slowly unzips her backpack. She wants to disappear, to sink into the floor and be anywhere but here. But she doesn't. She can't. The security guard digs through the bag, pulling out notebooks, pencils, nothing out of the ordinary. Then Savannah walks over, her eyes gleaming with a sense of victory. Look, she says, holding up the bracelet. It was in her bag. She took it. The crowd gasps. Nyla's heart sinks. How could they be so blind? How could they believe this? Her stomach turns as she realizes. She never stood a chance. No one is asking how the bracelet got there, how Savannah could have planted it. All they see is what they want to see. A black girl, guilty of something she never did. The weight of it crushes her. Nyla looks around the cafeteria, searching for someone, anyone, to speak up, to say something. But no one does. Her lab partner, Aaron, is staring at his phone, pretending not to notice. A few others glance away quickly, their eyes filled with uncomfortable pity. But no one says a word. The room buzzes with quiet whispers, phones raised high to capture the moment. Did you see that? She's in trouble now. A couple of students chuckle, while others exchange glances, uncertain, but too scared to intervene. Nyla's heart aches. Not one of them is willing to stand up for her. The silence speaks volumes. It tells her everything she needs to know. Her worth, her humanity, isn't enough to get them to care. And that hurts worse than any accusation. She tries to hold back tears, but they're there, right on the edge, threatening to spill. She wants to scream, to yell that this isn't fair, but no sound comes out. A teacher approaches Nyla, offering a silent nod as she gestures toward the door. Come with me. There's no apology in their eyes, no concern for what just happened. Savannah stands by, casually chatting with a friend, unaffected by the chaos she's caused. Nyla's legs feel like lead as she follows the teacher, her head held high in spite of everything. No one offers comfort. No one tells her it's going to be okay. They're just moving her along, treating her like a problem to be solved, a disruption to the peace. Savannah remains untouched, free, and Nyla, she's the one being escorted out like a criminal. At the principal's office, Nyla sits alone in the sterile chair, the silence deafening. The principal isn't even there. She's in a meeting, the secretary says, her voice distant and indifferent. No one told me what's going on, Nyla says, her voice trembling slightly. I didn't do anything wrong. The secretary doesn't respond. The minutes stretch on like hours, and finally a grim-faced administrator steps in. You're suspended pending investigation, they say, barely meeting her eyes. We'll contact your parents. Nyla's chest tightens. No one asked her side. No one cares enough to hear her out. The system has already decided. She's guilty. Nyla walks home, the weight of the day sinking in with every step. Her heart aches with a mix of shame and fury. The world feels like it's closing in, and she's too tired to fight it anymore. As she rounds the corner, she sees her mom standing by the door, waiting. She doesn't even have to say anything. Her mom sees it in her eyes. Nyla's tears finally spill. Mom? Her voice breaks. It's not fair. I didn't do anything wrong. Her mom steps forward, wrapping her arms around Nyla. We'll talk about this. I won't let them treat you like this. And for the first time all day, Nyla feels a flicker of hope. Something's about to change. Nyla's mom doesn't waste a moment. The second Nyla steps through the door, red-eyed and broken, her mother is already on the phone. I'm calling a lawyer, she says, voice steady, but filled with a quiet fury. This isn't over. Nyla barely manages a nod, still in shock from everything that's happened. But her mom's words cut through the haze of helplessness. This isn't over. By the time Nyla's done telling her everything, her mom has arranged an emergency meeting with the school's administration. We're not letting this go, she says. I've been silent for too long. It's time to make them listen. The truth has been spoken, and Nyla's voice is no longer just an echo in the background. It's heard, loud and clear. Nyla's story doesn't stay within the school's walls. Local media picks it up, sparking a movement for equity reform in elite institutions. Her courage becomes a rallying cry for change. Days later, Nyla walks the halls again. Her back is straight, her head high. She doesn't shrink or look away anymore. The girl who was invisible is now impossible to ignore. Imagine standing in Nyla's shoes. Would you speak out or remain silent? What would you do in her place? We want to hear from you. Have you ever witnessed or experienced racism? Share your stories in the comments. Your voice matters, and your experience matters. Let's make sure these stories are heard. Like, share, and subscribe to amplify voices like Nyla's. Together, we can push for change, spread awareness, and challenge the status quo. Make sure you turn on notifications so you don't miss the next powerful story. Change starts with us, and we're just getting started.